sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey guys, this is how to play Mr. Tambourine Man. The version by the Byrds is possibly the more famous version, and that doesn't use a capo. That's exactly as I've just played it there. The version by Bob Dylan, who wrote it, has a capo at 3rd fret. So if you want to do that version, stick a capo 3rd fret and it will be exactly the same as everything that I showed you here. I'm working from the chord sheet that is available from my website for free if you just check out the links below, and this is what I'll be referring to throughout this lesson, and certainly the verse section. Definitely recommend you have this chord sheet in front of you. For the chorus it is fairly memorable, and you should be okay for that, but I'd check out the chords definitely. We start this song after that riff, which happens twice. We start on a G major. Can do this either way. Got your normal G and then your Noel Gallagher G. As I say, I tend to want my students to default to doing the G with 4 fingers, with your little finger and 3rd finger both on the thinnest 2 strings, as it's really going to help come back for this D to G change, okay? But in your song we have a bar for every chord. So if we just strum this chord sequence once per bar to start off with, we're going to have a bar of G for hey, Mr. and then an A, tambourine man, to a D, play a song, to G. That sequence again, your G chord, A major, D, and a G. That is your top line of the chord sheet that you should be looking at now. And then for the second 4 chords, which make up your 8-bar chorus, we have a D major, a G, that D was for I'm not sleepy, and then a G, and finish on A. And there's 2 bars of A to finish it there. So that sequence again, the second line, D to a G, and A major for 2 bars. Okay, so that whole sequence, just on the first beat of every bar, in 1, 2, 3, and a G, 2, 3, 4, A major, to a D, and a G, second line, to a D, D, 2, 3, 4, G, and an A. And that whole section happens twice for both choruses, which happen at the start and at the end of the song. So if you feel comfortable to do so, let's go for that chord sequence twice through, strumming on every beat. If you've done the previous lesson and you've done the first lesson on how to change between these chords, this should be a walk in the park for you. That's your challenge, okay? In from your G chord, every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, then an A, 1, 2, then a D, 2, 3 to G, G, 2, 3, D, and a G, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, and then back to the top from a G, G, Mr. A, and a D, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, second line, D, 2, 3, 4, G, finish on an A for 2 bars, in 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're done, okay? That is for your chorus at the start of the song, and that is certainly the most kind of well-known section of this song. The verses, there's a lot less repetition going on, and the technique is basically trying not to look at your chords too often. Try and keep your eyes fixed on the chords and the lyrics that are happening. If you divert too much to looking at your chords and try and memorize this too early, too soon, you'll probably make mistakes and it might go wrong somewhere. There's a lot of the D to G happening, but there's no real repetition of kind of 4 bars like we have there. The first eight bars will repeat twice to make your chorus. That simply doesn't really happen in the verse. It's one long chord sequence and then you're back to the chorus for the end of the song. Just to make sure we've got that chorus, that we can rely upon that and then have a bash at your verse, let's go for that chorus one more time, playing along to me, every beat, that first chord sequence twice, and I'll sing it a little bit as well, but I'll be counting as much as I can to help you out. From the G chord, in 2, 3, 4. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, D, play a song for 1, 2. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Repeating 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. A, Marine Man, play a song for me. 2, 3, 4. D, 2, G, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and finish it there, okay? And then we're on to our verse section, okay? There's an extra bar of D before we start going kind of into the verse properly, before the singing starts. But that extra bar of D is really important because it means you can do it along to the song. So we do 1 bar of D, and then take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. So that first batch of chords is basically the same as the top line of your chorus. And when I say there's no full repeating pattern like we had in Sit Down, or like we've had in other songs before where it's been 2 chords that repeat for a whole song, or 4 chords that repeat for a whole song, here there's general repetition going, but it's not as exact, it's not as precise. So we have G, A, D, and G, which is the same order of the chorus, and then we have D and G repeating for a long time. What do we have about that? That's about 8 times, something like that. And you're pretty much going to be waiting for the cue. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering, which is when he goes to an A from the G instead of going back to a D. He goes to the A. It's definite. It sounds different, and there's a pause after that as well, and that will be for 2 bars. From the top of the verse, it will be a D chord, and then a G. Take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. Just repeat D to G. All my senses have been stripped. D to G again. And my hands can't feel to grip, and my toes too numb to step. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering. Okay, so wait only for my boot heels to be wandering is your cue that we're going for the D. And then basically the same thing happens again, but not for as long. We got the G, D, A, G again, and then repeat D and G lots and lots. From the G for that second half of the verse in 2, 3. I'm ready to go anywhere. I'm ready for to fade. D into my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way. Another G. I promise to go under it is an A. So as I say, some repetition, but it's not nice and precise. It's not a straight repetition. It's just repetition of a general order of chords. To help you out a little bit more with that, rather than trying to memorize this chord sequence or any chord sequence as just letters. So rather than trying to memorize, say for your chorus, okay, say for that first four bars, you're trying to remember, okay, G, A, D, G, and you're just remembering the letters. I don't know, maybe you try and make it spell something in your mind or something, but you're just trying to remember the letters, then you're probably going to struggle to memorize simple chord sequences. And it's going to be harder to get a repertoire of songs that you're really happy playing and that you don't have to use, say, chord sheets for. Another way to try, if you can kind of picture a pattern happening on your fretboard down here. Maybe a general, as I say, a chord progression, but going from a shape point of view. This was just something that really helped me, and it maybe if you're a different kind of learner to me and maybe not as visual like this, you know, this maybe won't help you. But if it helps one person, it's worth me saying. It's helped a lot of people in the past. Your G chord, I would say, is the chord that's furthest to you. It's furthest over this side. We're generally at 3rd fret, most fingers at 3rd fret. I'd say in A major, we've pushed the chord a lot further this way, okay? So we're kind of going from near you, or at least from where the bass notes are, the thicker notes, we've gone from the kind of top right, I'd say, to A, which is far over the left-hand side, okay, from your point of view. Then we're going to go down as far as we can, that's your D chord, and then back up to the G chord. So we're kind of going round in a circle. We're going round in a circle on your fretboard. From G, certainly from a bass note's point of view, there's our G bass note, there's our A, for your A chord, and your D, and then back up to the thickest string on a G. And then it repeats your D and G for a while, and finally A. So we're going round a fretboard in the same order, the same direction all the time. If you can translate that and think of it that way, then all your chords and your fingers are always moving in the same direction. That can really help you memorize these chord sequences. Maybe it goes the other way, you know, for a different chord sequence. Maybe it's always G, D, A, G, D, A, and that would generally go around in that direction. As I say, some people really struggle with that method. For some, it really illuminates them, means that, you know, chord sequence come really easy to them. So whichever method works for you, that's the right method for you. Try and find out what kind of learner you are. Basically, your song for you, Mr. Tambourine Man, as I say, capo 3rd fret for the Bob Dylan version if you prefer that one. But other than that, follow your chord sequence on this one, follow the chord chart. Have fun, have a sing along, try and play along to the record after the 2 rounds of the intro, then you straight in with your G chord. Please subscribe and like these videos if you like what I do, and I'm sure I'll see you again.